dropping into the area. Watch the sky. All stations, Shadow 01. Deployment to the war zone is authorized.
Bruh. Alright. Verdansk is back. This is my first game on. I'm playing a solo. We're doing this. For some reason my camera's not working, but whatever. It's good to be back.
Battle Royale.
I don't know why my FPS is so bad right now.
Gas is approaching your position. Move to the safe zone.
Let's land to cancel that. Marking
Oh,
on enemy movement.
Oh shit. There we go.
Enemy movement. Moving here. Enemy movement.
Oh my god. This is crazy. Oh, my FPS is so bad.
Enemy movement. Moving here.
Targets are up. Go take them down.
Okay, my graphics. Oh. What is this? A Juggernaut outfit or something? Oh. What is it with my graphics?
Enemy UAV overhead.
Interesting. I don't know why my FPS is so bad. Whatever.
LDVR ready for launch.
Gas is closing in.
I just saw someone. It looks so garbage right now.
Enemy movement.
Yeah, I don't know how to zoom out. Damn. Oh shit, someone's here. shit. Who the fuck is sniping at me? Let me get the car.
Vehicle marked.
Why am I getting way better FPS when I play in recommended instead of low or basic, whatever? Interesting. Whatever. There's some bindings I need to fix as well. Settings menu, overlay. Yeah, that's what I needed.
Marking contract.
Loadout drop headed your way.
Game's running a lot better now. Shit, I need my loadout. Fuck.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Wait, I have 3 weapons? Oh, never mind.
Supply box is located. Move to secure. You're losing ground. Moving.
I forgot you need suppressors in this game.
One supply box down. 2 remain. Hostile UAV in the area.
Shit, needs to go. or left in this game. 35. Please don't beat me.
2 supply boxes secured. 1 remaining. All supply boxes secure. Contract complete.
Oh shit. Accident. God damn it. How do I do this? Oh, drop. R. That doesn't work. Oh. Oh, that's so good. HDR. Shit. Get a bounty so I can fight somebody.
Marking contract.
I'm so scared of playing Warzone solo because there's always campers in this map. Get up there, I forgot. Is there a ladder or something? Yeah.
Enemy UAV is online. Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone. Bounty charges
here.
are up. Get after them.
Let's get a kill. Shit!
Took a round.
Gas is inbound.
I'm cooked. Am I cooked? I don't know what I'm doing. It's fucking Ninja Turtle.
UAV standing by.
1-1 requesting
SDR
recon at this
awaiting
time.
targeting data.
Fire!
Hostile UAV.
Oh shit, I'm cooked. Damn.
Enemy field upgrade. Kick and shell.
Oh, gulag time.
Welcome to the Gulag. Fight to win redeployment.
Interesting. Huh. Oh, I'm about to fight somebody.
Earn redeployment or die trying.
Oh, fuck, MP5.
Target down. Stand by for redeployment. You earned it.
Oh, where's my shit? Shit's some gas.
Marking contract.
Fuck, bro.
Locations are marked on your attack map.
I was camping.
Valiant effort.
Damn.
Keep your head up and return to base for debrief.
Man. I need to look at best Warzone's graphic settings.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping. Notifications. Look at your CPU and your GPU times. If your GPU is higher, you typically want to go on plus boost. If your CPU is higher, just go basically with on. And that's what I run for some slightly better frames there, which increase the performance and everything, the responsiveness, if you will. Just makes things feel more smooth for me. Eco mode I keep on custom, which is just off because it's going to be funky at times with what it does to your game. VSync I keep on off because that'll increase input lag. Not a fan of that at all. Obviously, we want the snappiest game we can have. Custom frame rate here, 240. Rarely am I getting above that in game, especially with my graphics settings to make the game look somewhat pretty for you guys in the videos. So I just keep it at that. Also, the dual PC setup, I like to try and avoid screen tearing where I can, so that's more preference for me. But typically, you want to have that however your refresh rate is. Then for the render reduced menu resolution, I keep that on native. I want it to destroy the look of my weapons or my camos or stuff when I'm just looking at the menu. I want it to be pretty. Pause game rendering, I have on off. Reduce quality, I have on off. Focus mode is on 0. I don't play with HDR on either. Now with quality here, few basic things. Just outright, you're going to want to have your basic render resolution there. I don't really like turning that up. Dynamic resolution is going to make your game look very strange when it tries to reach certain frame rate thresholds. So if it's always aiming for 90 FPS in one area, you might get that easily. The game's going to look very pretty. In the next area, it might make your game look really bad. That inconsistency is not great, so I leave that off. Upscaling, I'm a big fan of fidelity cast. I like the sharpness look here, up that to about 85. Typically, if you're playing on like 4K, you might want to switch over like DLSS or something. But for me, fidelity cast is the go-to. It's been like that for several years now, just based on personal experience. I don't like frame jet. I don't like how that makes the game look, so I leave that off. Same deal with AMD FSR. VRAM scale, I keep on 70. Variable rate shading, I want it to be pretty. It might make your game look really bad. That inconsistency is not great, so I leave that off. Upscaling, I'm a big fan of fidelity cast. I like the sharpness look here, up that to about 85. Typically, if you're playing on like 4K, you might want to switch over like DLSS or something. But for me, fidelity cast is the go-to. It's been like that for several years now, just based on personal experience. I don't like frame jet. I don't like how that makes the game look, so I leave that off. Same deal with AMD FSR. VRAM scale, I keep on 70. Variable rate shading, I keep on. Now, as we get into the details and textures here, keep in mind this stuff again is not really universally the best. This is what works well for my specific gaming PC. If you have a different spec and different rig than me, you're not necessarily going to want to copy these one for one. Typically, rule of thumb: if you want the game to look prettier, go to normal and higher. If you want the best frames possible, go normal and lower. Most of what I go for is just normal. That way the game looks still decent, and I'm going to get decent frames because I've got a 4090 in here, I got a 13900K, 64 gigs of RAM, so I can run this. But not every rig is going to be overkill like that, right? So adjust accordingly based on your PC specs. But texture res, I keep on normal. I don't like the look of low at all. I think the game looks really bad with this on. And obviously, with the updated Verdansk graphics, you want things to look pretty. Texture filter, I keep on normal. Depth of field, absolutely turn this off across the board. You never want that on. Detail quality, I keep on. And normal particle res, I keep on low because it does actually impact frames a bit. Full impacts, I like being able to see these. It's good information to have. I keep that on. Persistent effects, I keep on. Shader quality, medium, just for visuals. There makes the game look pretty, but also doesn't kill your frames too much. On-demand texture streaming is not going to be a huge difference in quality between optimized and minimal, nor is it going to have a huge difference in impact on your game. Now, there's stuttering that's involved with some of this on-demand texture streaming. It's unfortunate you can't just turn it off, but Ace did a lot of testing a while ago showing that there was not a super significant difference in optimized versus minimal there. Then I keep the streaming quality on low just because, again, not going to be a huge difference. Shadow quality, normal. Shadows are pretty important, so I don't like to turn those off for super low. Shadows can give away player positions pretty easy. Screen space shadows, I keep on low. Occlusion, screen space lighting low. Screen space reflections, off. You are going to see players so much easier through glass or in water if you turn this off. If it's reflected, you're not going to see the people behind the glass or in the water as easily, so that's a pretty big one to turn off for a competitive advantage. Reflection quality, I also keep on low. Tessellation, I keep on all. Volumetric quality is going to be medium here. Deferred physics is high. Weather grid is going to be normal. Water quality is going to be all. Following that for view, obviously console and PC, like you're going to have a lot of settings here. Reflection quality, I also keep on low. Tessellation I keep on all. Volumetric quality is going to be medium here. Deferred physics is high. Weather grid is going to be normal. Water quality is going to be all. Following that for view, obviously console and PC alike, you're going to have a lot of settings here. Motion reduction I keep on off. I like playing on 120 field of view. I've played on this for years. I'm familiar with it. Most players find a sweet spot in between about 95 and 110 typically. 120 can be overkill for a lot of players, but again, personally, I'm a fan of this. Effective FOV is much more important than your actual FOV. This is going to help reduce weapon zoom in and then in turn visual recoil. It's easier to stay on target. You'll notice less visual recoil when you're unaffected. Weapon field of view I keep on wide. Third person field of view on 90 and vehicle field of view on wide. Please, please, please turn off all weapon motion blur and world motion blur. You do not want those on. Might look cool for cinematics. It's terrible from a competitive standpoint. Then also camera movement. We don't want any of that, so turn that to least. Third person transition I leave as default. Inverted flashbang I'm not a fan of. It makes me panic and think my game crashes when a flashbang hits me and my whole screen goes black. I'd much rather be blinded by the light than be worried about my game crashing there, so I leave that on off. Now audio settings, the general master volume only matters for how loud you want it to be in your headset. Please don't blow your eardrums out. With my setup and how I have everything between my amp and my DAC and then my Go XLR, everything feeding into my headset, 22 is plenty loud because of how I can control it elsewhere. Music volume does not matter at all. That's not going to give you any competitive advantage in game, nor cinematic music volume. The only thing that will is dialogue and effects. Effects is footsteps, gunfire, things of that nature. Dialogue is enemy dropping into your AO, things like that. You want to be able to hear that, so turn those up higher. Other than that, just make sure it's not too loud or too quiet for your system and your setup there. Speaker's going to be default there. Enhanced headphone mode I leave on. I don't use a special profile or anything. I never went through and did any of that, so I don't really mess with that. I'm personally on the Treyarch mix for the audio mix. I've tested this, headphones, bass boost, home theater. Footsteps aren't particularly consistent anywhere. At times, just that's COD now. The footsteps are not great. I don't use any sort of other tuning outside of this. I just rock the Treyarch mix, and sometimes I hear footsteps really well, and sometimes I don't. And that's just kind of life in this game. Mono audio, do not have this on. Not a fan of that whatsoever. It's going to throw you off some. It's just audio consistency when it actually is there. You can minimize this off. Licensed music is off for me for recording, obviously. You can configure frequencies. If you want to go through and adjust this individually, by all means, go for it. I'm a little bit too ignorant to adjust these, so I just leave them as default and I go on my merry way right down to functionality. United sound, not a fan, don't want that ringing, so I turn that on. It reduces that some. Then I leave the default hit marker preset there, just for personal preference. But if you want to change that, go for it. Then all this voice chat stuff really is just personal preference. If you want to pause and copy my stuff, go for it. But like this is all pretty much just the default stuff. Now with the interface settings, a couple of neat things have been updated here as well recently. So for the menu stuff, I mostly just leave this as default. I don't need the gameplay tips. I don't need the tool tips on there either. With telemetry on console, you'll have some of this. On PC, you'll have more like your FPS counter. I want that on. I want to be able to see if the game's stuttering, what's going on, if I'm getting crazy frame drops. Just helps me test. Server latency is huge. Just you get to see your ping and everything there. Then so is packet loss. Also very important to always have those on and see if it's you lagging, if it's the server, if there's packet loss going on, anything like that. That's all very, very important. Then all my telemetry and icons I leave on because it's important to be able to see that stuff happening in game. But I do just leave it as mostly default there. With readability stuff, I like having subtitles off for competitive stuff. If I'm on the campaign or anything, I'll leave them on. But I started the year with them on. Thought, oh, I'm gonna be able to see when enemies are dropping in or this, that, whatever else. And I just found myself never actually reading the subtitles, so I just leave them on off there. Then with the menu text, I leave all that on default. Color customization, I get asked about this a lot. Zach, why are your contracts purple? Change your neutral color to something bright. For me, it's purple. It stands out, and that stuff will be a lot more visible in the minimap. Won't be the bright white, so I like that personally. Then color filter, this is another huge thing. If you play on console, you want your game to look better because you don't have NVIDIA filters or anything like PC does. Put on filter 2, put on the filter target as both, then up it to about 80 to 100 depending on what you like. And the game's gonna look more vibrant, it's gonna look more sharp. It's really good honestly for some nice color correction. In general gameplay applies to PC and a console like, so that's definitely a sneaky important setting there for sure. Then with gameplay HUD here, the bounds will be a lot more visible in the minimap. It won't just be the bright white, so I like that personally. Then color filter, this is another huge thing. If you play on console, you want your game to look better because icons I leave on because it's important to be able to see that stuff happening in game, but I do just leave it as mostly default there. With readability stuff, I like having subtitles off for competitive stuff. If I'm on the campaign or anything, I'll leave them on, but I started the year with them on. Thought, oh, I'm gonna be able to see when enemies are dropping in or this, that, whatever else, and I just found myself never actually reading the subtitles, so I just leave them on off there. Then with the menu text, I leave all that on default. Color customization, I get asked about this a lot. Zach, why are your contracts purple? Change your neutral color to something bright. For me, it's purple. It stands out, and that stuff will be a lot more visible in the minimap. It won't just be the bright white, so I like that personally. Then color filter, this is another huge thing. If you play on console, you want your game to look better because you don't have NVIDIA filters or anything like PC does. Put on filter 2, put on the filter target as both, then up it to about 80 to 100 depending on what you like. And the game's gonna look more vibrant, it's gonna look more sharp. It's really good honestly for some nice color correction. In general gameplay applies.
Alrighty. Let me restart the stream and use lower settings. Stop.